Good morning. Today we are going to be talking about lesson number 9, and today's lesson is going to be on stress and the relationship between type 2 diabetes and stress. Before we get started though, I want to have you go ahead and take a look at your goals for last week. Take a second and see how you think that you did. Did you meet your goal? Where did you struggle to complete that goal? What kept you from getting there? Or maybe you succeeded and you completely killed it. And if that's the case, where can you go next? What's our next step from last week? So go ahead and I'll give you a second to kind of just think that through and look over your stuff. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about stress and how stress can affect us, how we can reduce stress, how stress is affected by type 2, or how type 2 diabetes is affected by stress. Maybe talking a little bit about coping techniques, things like that. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right in. And so the first thing I kind of want to go over is how type 2 diabetes and stress can go hand in hand. So typically, when you have a diagnosis of type 2 diabetes, whenever you get stressed out or when your body is under any form of stress, so maybe that's from being sick, or maybe you're in a car accident, or maybe you are just under a lot of stress at work, anything like that, where your body is under stress, is going to cause your blood sugar to go up. And we want to keep those blood sugars between 80 to 120. And so when we don't deal with our stress, it causes that blood sugar to go up. But other things can also have an impact on your blood sugar and stress. And sometimes that's just how we personally deal with our stress. So I know a lot of people claim that they are stress eaters. When you get stressed, you just want to grab that extra piece of candy. You want to go and treat yourself to maybe a latte, or maybe when you're stressed, you don't eat. And so you forget, you just don't feel good, so you decide to just skip a meal, and then you realize you haven't eaten all day. And so that also can have an effect on your blood sugar. But also that feeling stressed can even just change your body chemistry in a way that makes you more likely to get type 2 diabetes. And going back to, it can cause you to act in unhealthy ways, whether it's eating too much or not eating often enough. So go ahead and take a second and kind of think about, what is your response to stress? Are you a stress eater? Or are you the person on that opposite side that maybe doesn't even consider eating when you are super stressed? And as you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and turn to the participant guide on stress management. So we are going to grab that and flip to page 3. This is going to be about Barbara's story. And Barbara is a 45-year-old, and she is just stretched thin. Her kids are in high school. She's a single mom, and she works full-time. And she is just stressed. And some of the things that she feels when she is stressed is maybe angry, annoyed, anxious, confused, impatient, sad, or worried. So take a second and think about, how do you feel when you're stressed? I know for me, often I become very, very impatient. I become anxious, and sometimes even maybe a little bit worried. But feeling stressed can make you even feel different things too that might not be listed on there. And so it's okay if maybe the way you feel when you're stressed is not listed. But other things that can happen too is that you might have a headache, a backache, neck. You might feel like your heart is racing, or you're just tense all the time. Your muscles are tight. Or for me, I get upset stomach a lot, especially if you have acid reflux. Whenever you're stressed, you might feel that flare-up of that acid reflux starts to happen, and that's really normal. So on the back side too, on page 4, it also talks about Barbara goes home and eats ice cream. So she's a stress eater. And so other things too that might happen when you feel stressed is you might want to drink alcohol, and you might forget things. put things off that you need to do, rush around without getting much done. You might not sleep enough, or even if you are trying to sleep, you might not be able to turn that brain off so you can't actually fall asleep. You might start taking too much medicine. You might re-pick up a habit of smoking, or you might work too much in order to try and de-stress your life a little bit. So Barbara has the issue of trying to take too much on. She does not say no. So when her kids want to go shopping, she takes them shopping. When they want to buy something, she buys it for them. And then maybe she's stressed because financial issues, but she wants to give this to them. So learning that happy medium of when to say no because it's in the better interest of your health. So next we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about ways to cope. Nope, that's not it. We are going to turn to page 5, and we're going to talk about ways to reduce stress in your life. Because we said stress is going to be there, whether it's stress that we put on ourselves or stress that's environmental that we can't control. So what are some ways that we can kind of reduce that stress? So some ways are to ask for help. I know that sometimes at work, I feel like I have too much going on. I have too much on my plate. I can't handle it all. And so in those instances, it's great to figure out, is there somebody here that can help me? Is there somebody here that I can ask to do something small for me so that then I can get done something bigger or something that's more time pertinent? Or it's asking for help in your at-home life. So maybe you have children, and maybe you go home every day, and maybe it's that you and your husband split some of the task. So you don't feel like that's all on you because it's causing you stress. Maybe it's that your house feels like it's always a mess. So instead of taking your clothes off and just leaving them on the floor, I find that if I stand in my closet and hang my clothes up or put them in the dirty clothes as I'm taking off my work clothes, that I can keep my room a little bit cleaner. Because when my life is all cluttered, then it stresses me out. So that for you may be that as you are doing dirtying up things, whether it's clothes or dishes, or your kids are getting things out, that you work with them and encourage them to put things away as you're finished with them. Because that way then you don't feel like you have to do it all at one time, and that could reduce stress in your life as well. Just saying no, telling people that I just can't take anything else on right now. My life is really busy at this moment. I would love to help you. I think what you're doing is great, but I just can't take on another thing. That is completely acceptable. And people may actually respect you for being able to say no and not stressing yourself out more. Know yourself. Know what makes you stressed, but also know what helps you to cope. Make a to-do list. Keeping things organized in your brain can help you to get things done better. So if you have that to-do list of things that you can just mark off the list, that might make you feel a little bit better and help you reduce stress. Set small, doable goals, especially with it's things like weight loss and your health. Maybe that small goal is walking for 10 minutes every day this week. Or maybe that small goal is just trying to incorporate one more vegetable at supper each night because you know that is the one meal that you really have control over. Solving problems when you have a problem, or taking care of your body and mind. So those are ways to reduce your stress. It's kind of some ways to organize your life a little bit better and try to keep things under control a little bit. So now we're going to move on. We've talked about ways to reduce your stress, but how do we cope with our stress? When that stress is coming on in your life and you just need to figure out how to cope, what do you do? Is it that you go exercise? Is it that you buckle down and you really focus at work so that you can get things done? You close your door so that nobody can come in? Is it that you go outside and you take a walk, take a run, you go exercise? Or maybe it's that you talk about your feelings. You call your mom and you cry. It's perfectly okay. Or maybe you just go do something fun. So these are ways to cope with your stress. But there's also things too of ways to just relax. So maybe taking deep breaths. One of the things we're going to work on today in a few minutes is that we're going to do some deep breathing exercises where you really focus on taking those big deep breaths and slowly exhaling, and that can just kind of calm everything down. Working on imagery and happy imagery of places that maybe go into your happy place is what I like to call it. But imagining, what do you see? Taking in all of your senses. What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you taste? What do you smell? Those kinds of things, and just closing your eyes and just being in your happy place. That can help you to relax a little bit, because when we're relaxed, we can get more done. We feel like we're in more control. So that's a lot of what is going that they have in our participant guides today. So now we're going to go back to our lesson. Okay. So we've talked about ways to cope, and we've talked about ways to reduce your stress. But what I want you to think about is, what if those things are going to work for you? What ways do you deal with your stress or cope with your stress right now? How are you coping with your health? How are you coping with your crazy schedule with your children or your grandkids? How are you coping with the schedules of the last week of school happening and finals week, things like that? So take a second and go ahead and just kind of write down what you feel like is your ways to cope, or things that you want to actually work on to help you to cope better. Okay, so now we are going to practice relaxing. We're going to work on some deep breathing. In this, they want you to lay down and get a pillow, but I'm afraid that if you do that, you might fall asleep on me in the video. So what I would like for you to do is to just get in a chair, and we are going to go first through some deep breathing exercises. So what I would like for you to do is, you're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And you're going to be taking big, deep breaths. So you can put your hand on your belly, on your abdomen, and you should feel your stomach coming out when you're taking that big, deep breath in, and then falling back in when you are exhaling. Okay, so what I want you to do is, we're going to try to breathe in for at least 4 seconds, and then we're going to breathe out for 4 more seconds, and we're going to do it 4 times, okay? So we're going to go ahead and just do it. And, pause. If you would like to, if you feel better, you can go ahead and just close your eyes while you're doing this, if that helps you to relax even more. Okay, so we're going to breathe in. Okay, take our next breath. Last one. Okay, so hopefully you feel a little bit more relaxed. So that's deep breathing. So the next thing we're going to do now is some muscle relaxation. And you're not allowed to make fun of me for how funny my face looks when I do this, because just know that though you guys are seeing my faces, I don't get to see yours, so it's not fair to make fun of me and how scrunched up my face looks. Okay, so the next activity is going to be that we're going to tense up different body parts and then for about 5 seconds, and then you're going to just relax it. And you're going to feel how after you do each of these muscles that you feel a little bit looser and more relaxed. Okay, so we're going to start out with our faces. And what you're going to do is you're going to scrunch up your face for 5 seconds, and then we're going to let it relax, okay? Okay, so we're going to do that one again. Okay, so hopefully now your face feels a little bit looser. Okay, now we are going to tense up our shoulders. So you're going to pull your shoulders up. Try to reach your ears, okay? 1. And bring our shoulders back down. Kind of move your neck around a little bit. Okay, we're going to do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now we're going to tighten your arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax and kind of shake out your arms on the side. Okay. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. Okay, we're going to do that again. You're going to pull your arms out and just tighten them. 4, 5. Okay. Okay, now you're going to take your arm, or you're going to tighten up your legs. So put your feet out, your legs out straight, and squeeze your legs as tight as you can. 3, 4, 5, and relax your legs, okay? And shake them out a little bit. You can't see me shaking them, but I am. So shake yours out a little bit. Okay, we're going to do it one more time. 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax them. Okay. And last, we are going to squeeze our butt cheeks together. And then we're going to relax them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. So hopefully we've kind of hit all different groupings of muscles. And so maybe now your muscles feel looser and you just kind of feel more relaxed. Lastly, we're going to do some guided imagery exercises. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you close your eyes. And you're going to take some deep breaths. So breathing in and out again. And I'm going to go through and ask you some questions while you are doing this, okay? So go ahead and close your eyes and begin taking some big, deep breaths in. And now I want you to exhale. Okay. I want you to do that again. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Okay, so I want you to continue doing that. And now I want you to think of a place where you feel relaxed. Keep your eyes closed, keep breathing. Where do you feel relaxed and at ease? Maybe where's your favorite vacation spot? So while you're thinking about this, I want you to think about what you see. Where are you? Maybe who's with you? Okay, what are you smelling? What does it smell like? Is it a happy smell? Do you taste anything? Is there food there? Is there salt in the air? What are you hearing? What kind of noises are happening? Okay. What do you feel? Are you touching anything? Do you just feel it in your heart? Okay, now go ahead and take one last big deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. So this is a guided imagery exercise, and so hopefully now, after tensing up our muscles and relaxing and doing some deep breathing and doing these imageries, that hopefully you feel a little bit more relaxed than you did when you started this video. So these are things that can really help you to work with that stress level. 5 or 10 minutes. That's it. That's all you need. I work with a lot of patients who tell me that maybe they're taking care of their parents, or somebody's in the hospital, and so they're running a lot of errands and they're going back and forth and their life is crazy. But 10 minutes. You deserve 10 minutes. No matter what is happening in your life, you deserve 10 minutes to deal with your stress, to help you to relax. Because along with stress, and along with your blood sugar increasing, your blood pressure will also increase when you are stressed out. And just taking these deep breaths and doing some meditation, thinking of happy places, or doing just some muscle relaxation can help that blood pressure to come down as well. And so these are things that you can do. If you have any other exercises that you do at home, or that you do to help you cope with stress and make it better, let me know. Shoot me an email. Tell me the next time we're together what you do. I'm always looking for suggestions to pass off to my patients of things that do work. And I'm sure that everybody too would also love to hear your ideas, because maybe something you do they would enjoy doing as well. Okay, well, that is everything that we have for today, but I would like you to take the last 2 minutes, maybe 60 seconds, and make your goal for this next week. Make something, if you achieved your goal, make something new. You can keep working on the same goal that you've been working on if you feel like you just haven't met that goal yet. And I would encourage you to try and make a goal about how to manage your stress better. I know that a lot of you guys are on your way out to Christmas break. So hopefully that will be a stress reducer all in itself. But for those of us that are not that privileged to get that Christmas break anymore, think of a way that will help you to reduce your stress as well. And go ahead and set your goal. Okay, so our next 3 weeks are going to be videos as well, so I will hopefully be recording those and getting those to you on Mondays. That's my goal for the week, is to get you guys the videos every Monday, and as well as I'm going to shoot you the participant guides. And if you could just weigh in, write down your minutes for the week. You can either choose to email them to me, or you can give them to me at our next meeting, which will be January the 7th. Okay? So, that's all I've got for us, and you guys have a great week.